Welcome everybody to episode 330 of the effing title. I am the creature. And
I am the other creature.
Oh, you'd be Frankenstein in this situation.
I don't know, we can both be creatures.
But we're back with more Netflix. Dude, eventually here, right? Like,
I know, it's just Netflix.
So I just gotta send him an email at some point and be like, listen, we're not looking for much.
Can we just get some crumbs? Crumbs?
Can you just send us can you send us like a goodie bag, like a goodie pack, and then just a year subscription? Like,
here's an old joke. Can I get a To-Doom ringtone alert? Can I get a code for yeah? Anyways, but Frankenstein, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
Yeah, Guillermo del Toro. Heavy vibes for him right off rip. Yes. We'll get into that here in a second here. We're starting to get into this. But yeah, we're back. We're going to be talking about Netflix's brand new movie. Literally brand new. Just came out on Thursday? Friday, I think. I don't know. All I know is
no, yes, today's the 10th. It wasn't. It was the 7th.
The 7th, okay. So I watched it the first night, I do believe. I think you watched it the next
I watched
morning?
it Sunday morning. I started it at like 6:30
in the morning.
Yes, I started because I had a long we had to talk about it. I had a long day. I started it. Kat and I both watched together.
Okay.
And we were like, "How much is left?" And we're like, "Oh, an hour." So then we did a bunch of stuff, and then I finished it at I put it on at 5.
Oh, okay. All right. So what are you giving Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein?
Unironically, a 6-7.
Oh, okay. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going like a hard 8 to 8. I'm gonna go 8.25.
Yeah. I wasn't disappointed with it.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, it's not a comparison to other kind of, is it? But it isn't. Like Mark Wahlberg had a real hot career for a while. He was in some real bangers.
Yeah, just one after another. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we started getting his Netflix movies and his it was a Paramount movie where he he just kept getting reincarnated, and that was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Awesome concept, but bad execution. And then The Union. Did you see that movie?
The Union. No, I'm gonna be honest. I'm trying to think. That was a
Netflix movie.
The last true Marky Mark movie I think I saw may have been.
I think his last good one was Pain and Gain.
That's the last one I think I watched, because Pain and Gain was the muscle.
The
bodybuilder. Well,
and Anthony Mackie.
Yeah. I think that was the true last Marky Mark project I watched.
I could be wrong. I don't have them up in front of me, but my thing isn't about the movies. It's just that he's made so many good movies, and then he just was like, all right, whatever, I'll just make some movies. And this felt like Netflix has had some ups and downs. They've come out with some really good films. They've come out with some stuff that's just they threw a lot of money at it, like that Chris Pratt movie, the Chris Pratt Millie Bobby Brown movie.
Yeah.
And to me, this kind of felt like that.
Well,
to an extent, I'll go more on that, but.
Okay. Well, it was one of those things. Then I'm gonna hit you with this as well. Then, because I'm looking now. Did you know? Because I had no clue. So I'm looking through. So where the hell is Pain and Gain? How long ago was Pain and Gain? Pain and Gain was 2013. I want to say it was
2000. Oh, I was gonna say 2005, 2013.
So 2013. Well, you ready for this? It was 2012 was Ted. Then it was Broken City, Pain and Gain, Two Guns, Lone Survivor, Transformers: Age of Extinction.
Bad. Lone Survivor was good.
Daddy's Home in 2015. And then that is just kind of slowly is. But did you know that he was in Scoob? He was the voice of Blue Falcon.
I didn't.
I know we probably both.
I started watching Scoob and I didn't like it.
Yes, you just stopped.
So that was another movie where you had Matthew Lillard all time, and he was voicing Scooby in the animated shows and stuff up until that movie came out, and that was like another movie. They're just like, let's just get all of the most expensive actors who aren't voice actors, and just have them be the parts. It just did nothing fit.
Let's say before we continue on with actually going over Frankenstein, because you brought up an interesting thing, because I've heard, I've seen different things with this, with what you're kind of hitting at, and
dogs.
Where do you think this is one of those things? Because like you said, Guillermo del Toro, I think we could all agree, everyone's watching this as well, has had a phenomenal career. Right, whether it's films or not.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm looking. I just brought it up right now. So you go Kronos, Mimic, The Devil's Backbone, Blade 2, Hellboy, Pan's Labyrinth, Hellboy 2, Pacific Rim, Crimson Peak, The Shape of Water, Nightmare Alley, Pinocchio, Frankenstein. And by the way, this is just
Shape of Water.
Yeah.
Didn't even say that one. That's like something I wanted to bring up. That movie won Oscars. I know it won at least one Oscar.
Yeah, I think it
and
did, yeah.
That movie has a masturbation scene and a scene where she has sex with a fish. And that movie was beautiful.
Yeah.
Like,
and then it says writer and producer only, and like he was a writer. Didn't know this. He was a writer on Don't Be Afraid of the Dark in 2010. He was also a writer on The Hobbit, the entire trilogy of The Hobbit. Not the Lord of the Rings trilogy, but like just The Hobbit. He was the producer for The Book of Life. He was the producer for Pacific Rim Uprising. He was...
Which is pretty good.
Unfortunately, a writer and producer for The Witches. Antlers, he was a producer for. And The Boy in the Iron Box, he's a producer for. But he's had a fantastic career. And then, like I said, you look at like television, The Strain.
I liked the first season of The Strain.
That's what I'm saying. It's like just the fact that like that's another thing we can just add to this is like he did this, he did that. Troll Hunters, which is an animated thing. He did that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just like he's had such a fantastic career. So here's the question that I have is, was this one of those things where this was Guillermo del Toro kind of at Guillermo del Toro's like full, like they just let him go? Because Netflix, I feel like, and I've seen this is a thing that people have said where some studios will rein people in, like rein them in, where Netflix just kind of says, go do your thing. We saw it, and we know it because we talked about it heavily with the 3 different reviews we did of it with Rebel Moon. There's a lot of that where Zack Snyder is fully Zack Snyder. Like he's like there's a the full scene where it's like 10 minutes of them in the cornfield or in the fields, and it's all slow motion for like 5 minutes. Just slow motion of kids playing in the fields, them chopping down the harvest, them slowly drinking the water, like that sort of thing. So you think that's kind of a thing with this as well? Where
so I don't know. Part of me felt like the first half of the movie was like phoned in.
Okay.
Yeah, so like the parts the first half, like we have like Victor Frankenstein, because like his origins, him doing the medical stuff, and then being like going against his dad and this whole thing, and then we get to the second half, and like I actually thought like the second half with the creature with Jacob Elordi being the creature was actually kind of beautiful.
Yes.
Like, especially when he's in the house and he's like with the blind man, which was his name. That was his name in the credits.
The blind man, yeah. It's well, and this is one of the things, I'm going to sound a little bit hypocritical.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're going to go, that's while we're on it right now. Right,
pacing?
Story. Yeah. I'm going to feel very hypocritical after last week. I very much like the way they did this. Now, what I think is the reason why I like this was with weapons and with... God, what the hell was the Ben Affleck one? Also, High Cat.
Yeah, she's just standing in the corner, menacingly.
Menacingly.
Oh, sorry. I have to bring up one thing before we get into that. So Kat paused the movie at one point. Yeah. So when the mother died, right?
Yes.
She had that weird casket.
Oh, that as soon as I saw that casket, 1, I was like, that's beautiful. But then 2 was like, that is 1,000,000% Guillermo del Toro. Like that.
So that's a real thing.
What?
Yeah, so Cat had to be like, so here's a little picture of it.
Oh shit.
And they were made out of cast iron. So hers was a little non-traditional because it was painted.
Yeah.
And then when the dad died, that was a more traditional one.
Interesting.
So that was like a very like time of the time sort of thing.
Because I was gonna say when I saw that, and it's like you have all the people there with the hats on and like the robe and all the stuff. It was like, okay, this is very like you could tell this is Guillermo del Toro like being at his peak, but also trying to keep it relevant to the era.
That was real. So
that's even cooler because I didn't know that.
Cat got us this detail.
They're called fist caskets. Okay. They're made out of cast iron, and they have the faceplate that, for viewing purposes, would be out, and then once it would be buried, they would put that mask on. And you saw it more with the mom, I think, where she was viewed, and then right before she was lowered.
Yeah, they showed it with the mom more. Like with him, they showed like just his face and then them going and then it going down. Where with the mom, I feel like it did show a lot more of her.
Kat said there was also usually a glass over that.
Oh, okay, interesting. I thought that like it was one of those things like so very hypocritical.
So funeral professional letting us know.
Yeah, I love
That's
that.
Real.
I love that because, like I said, didn't know that, and I saw that scene. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, that is like I said,
that would be something he could come up with,
right? That's what I thought, and I was like, that's really cool though. Thank you, Kat, for adding that, and that's actually really awesome.
And that was around the time they started embalming too. The same because 1857-ish, 1860, and that's when they started doing embalmings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and now that I'm looking at this, so okay. So kind of just went very hypocritical of me inbound. Didn't like the pacing in Weapons, and I'm trying to think of the goddamn Ben Affleck, Matt Damon.
Yeah, I can never remember. The Last Duel.
The Last Duel. I really didn't like the pacing of that movie with them jumping around so much. And this is what I think it was this movie didn't jump around to an extent. This movie had your prelude, which was like, this is modern day. Bang. Part 1 was Victor's tale, and it showed Victor as a kid till, bang, he blows up the mansion. And then the creature, is it the creature's tale? The creature's tale starts at that point. And I think that's what separates it for me, was like it didn't go like, oh, this is the creature. Like they didn't like merge the two stories. It was literally the story was just continuing. It's just we don't care about Victor's anymore. We're now worried about this. And I think that's what did it for me.
I liked how they did that. Yeah. How he did that. It wasn't jumping around the whole time.
The way they did it as well, I thought was really cool. So like I said, we're gonna get right into just talking about the story at this point now. In the prelude, it's literally like a Dutch ship, a Royal Dutch ship, Danish Navy ship that's on an expedition to the North Pole. They get trapped in the ice, which everyone should know this. Everyone should know this. That happened in like the 1850s, 90s.
There's a whole show on AMC about it.
Yeah.
With and it's this whole like horror thing.
And when they did that, suddenly there's a bang, there's an explosion in the distance, and they go over there, and there's Victor Frankenstein. They put him on the thing, and they bring him to the boat, and as they bring him to the boat, there's the creature in the distance, and the creature starts to attack them, and they eventually fend him off. By the way, really cool thing at this point, you don't see the creature. You don't see the creature until when he's
birthed.
Yeah, when he's a great way of wording it. When he's birthed.
Yeah.
But like up until this point, he has this raggedy cloth on, kind of in the thumbnail that you'll see here. Like he has like this cloth on, the hood on. But at one point, he pushes against the ship, and I thought this was the coolest freaking thing. He pushes against the ship and like literally starts almost like trying to barrel roll the ship with his hands. And I'm like, this is such a great way of showing like the strength of the creature.
Well, he punched a guy. He punched his head off.
Yeah, he punched his head off. He took like 10 gunshot wounds. Like,
yeah.
It's like, and this is the first we're seeing of this thing. So off rip, you're already sitting there being like, shit, this thing is like, what is this thing? Like, we all know what Frankenstein's monster is. We all know what the creature is. But in this context, it's like, dude, what did Del Toro make? Like, what?
Yeah.
So that's where we start, and then it goes to Victor Frankenstein telling his story. This is my tale. This is my story. And it's from him being a kid, growing up. He loves his mom, hates his dad. Mom dies giving birth, correct?
To the second son.
Yes, to the second son. The father now loves the second son. William? William Frankenstein, yes. The father kind of at this point says, I don't care about you, first son. And then the father dies and William runs off at this point. The thing is kind of interesting here.
So they're sent to live with different people.
Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And the thing that's interesting here, didn't know this because, of course, it's just part of the thing. The prelude, which is where we are current, like, this is the current story, is the prelude, is 1857.
Yeah.
Victor gets kicked out of the Royal College of Surgeons of Edinburgh in 1855. So the movie takes place over 2 years. That's it. Which I think is fantastic to think about. Because it really kind of condenses everything into that one little... And I never thought of that. I thought the story was longer than that, to an extent.
Wait, so... No,
Yeah, I'm looking at it right here. So Victor's...
So the ships crashed in 1857. That's what it was. Okay.
So the ship crashed in 57, but the beginning of Victor, like the true beginning of his tales
when he first shows like the body at first. That's
so
55.
He shows a body that has like one arm, half a head sort of thing. The body is just like here but torn down in the thing. He plugs it in, he gets it to reanimate, and it's kind of doing stuff, and everyone's like, oh, this is just a circus trick. And he's like, no, it isn't. And he throws it like a little bouncy ball at it, and it catches the bouncy ball, and then it gives it back to him. And then it dies. Because that's the parlor trick of it, is that you can only keep it alive for so long.
It's a very Tron
yes.
Ares thing.
Yeah.
You can't figure out how to keep it alive for so long.
And then this is when we meet Henrik Harlander.
Hans Schultz.
Yep.
Or Christoph Waltz.
Which, by the way, this cast...
He's great.
We'll talk about this at the end of this, but this cast, holy hell. It's one of those things, I wouldn't say so much that... So it's interesting now you said phoned in. Because, like, I didn't think it was phoned in. What I thought was that Victor's tale's been told so much.
Yeah, it didn't really give us a fresh it kind of did. It gave us more of like his before instead of just being like, here's the monster.
Yeah, it gave to me it gave Victor a little bit more of personality to an extent.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it's just kind of like, I'm crazy, I'm insane. We're gonna make a monster, right? This is more a dude that's like, I hate that my mom died. I hate them. I hate that people die. Why can't I be God? I'm gonna save it. No one's dying anymore. Like that sort of shit. But then it slowly turns into this maniacal, like, no, I am this, I am that, you know. I'm kind of, better than everyone sort of thing, it felt like. But at this point now, he starts working with Henrik Harlander, and unlimited funds. Unlimited funds. And here's this giant castle in the middle of nowhere. Go have fun. And it was like, I thought that scene was really cool where, like, he's walking around the castle being like, I need this here, I need this here, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need... And it's like, you're sitting there and it's like, yeah, it's kind of one of those things like...
He's like, all right, cool, you got it.
Yeah, it's like, whatever you need, bro. But, like, you're listening to him say this and it's like, okay, this is, like, this dude's been talking for, like, literally, like, 2 minutes of saying what he needs and explaining it. Like, there's no shot this is gonna look cool. Oh my god, this looks awesome. Like, it slowly plays into that. And then we meet... guys.
Weird thing I felt like he didn't have, like, an assistant in this one.
Yes, he did. It was... Like I said, it was very interesting, because, like, they really did... Yeah. Like, they didn't change much, it felt like, but they removed and they made, like... They basically were like...
I guess... we're all familiar with the tale, but I guess I'm not familiar with the true full tale. Like him... falling for William's bride and Harlander's niece. Yes, and I wasn't sure if that was something from the original, because that's not that's like a part of that's like a thing I was like, I don't. Yeah, I was like, I don't really love this part.
Yeah, when they started doing that, I was like, why is there a love scene in my Frankenstein movie? And why is it not the creature and the bride? Like, like that
my
sort of thing.
My thing was like always like, yeah, like I don't know. I always kind of like assumed that he had. So yes, his mother. He lost his mother, lost his father. I had always assumed that like his torment was like from a lost love.
Yes,
like true lost love.
So I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick. Would it just be Frankenstein? It was. So I played a game back in 2021. How about this shit? Called The Wanderer. So it was The Wanderer, Frankenstein's Creature. Okay. And what I wrote on here was this game was a whole lot of things rolled into one. During the beginning stages, I wasn't quite sure what to expect, but as the game went further and further along, it started to resonate with me and how different, and how being different can get you treated. Seeing the world through the eyes of said monster, and just how devastating, but also how beautiful this was. What a wild ride! So the game takes the Alex Shelley story, but you play as the monster and you kind of walk through, because like the whole part, and we're going to get to this here in a second when we get to the creature story, but like the blind man, that whole sequence was not new to me because they have that in in that game.
Okay.
So, but it was cool seeing it though and being like, oh, this is because like for instance, for you that's probably completely new to you, right?
Yeah. So that's a funny thing to me. That's like what I was like, oh, this feels like a fresh take, but I guess it's not new. Whereas like the first Victor Frankenstein part, I was like, this doesn't feel.
Well, that's the thing. Fresh. Is like, I feel like a lot of, because I mean, and actually, now that you say that, I want to look at something real quick. Frankenstein. Would I just do? Let's just do movies. Frankenstein movies, right? A list of films featuring Frankenstein's monster. Okay, this is Frankenstein's monster, but
I guess part of me is like, we're so used to Guillermo's like original stories.
Yeah.
Except for I guess Hellboy, but I guess. To me, that was like a super fresh take on Hellboy.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is like as well. Like, let's be honest here. Most people with that, me included, knew nothing about Hellboy before that movie came out.
Oh yeah.
Knew nothing about it. So it could have been one of those things where it's like it could have been word for word, like it could have been like a Watchmen movie, right? Where it's like this is literally the comic brought to life. It could have been that sort of shit, or it could have been like, hey, I'm gonna take pieces of this, but then I'm just gonna throw my own shit in there. But either way, I thought that was fantastic. But like I'm looking at this, and like most of these movies, I mean, mind you as well, like there's a lot of them where it's just like Scream of the Demon Lover. Santo versus Frankenstein's daughter. Like, there's a lot of shit here, but like most what I was gonna look for with this is most Frankenstein movies are always very much the same. What I'm getting at was what I was gonna get at here. Van Helsing has Frankenstein and the monster in it. Like that's the same. Flesh of the Frankenstein. Why does that look like a very young? That's weird. It looked like a very young Jared Leto. But like I'm looking through this, and like all these look like they're all very similar, right? They all have the same feel to them. We all know of Frankenstein, but do we really know of Frankenstein? I mean, I would argue this as well. When you think of Frankenstein, you think of like cinema, TV shows, any of that. What are the first couple that come to your mind? Because I two straight off rip. It just makes me think of Hotel Transylvania. Okay.
Like my thing is like always like I guess I think of like Frankenstein already existing and not like how he became.
Yeah, not the how. So what I was gonna say, so mine was gonna be Hotel Transylvania was a good one. Monsters.
Yeah.
And Young Frankenstein.
Didn't see Young Frankenstein. Mel Brooks.
Yeah, Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks. Okay.
Okay, so that's one we got to get you to watch because that is hilarious.
I just watched Spaceballs for the first time.
Oh, really?
The other weekend. Yep, first time.
Okay, quick side thing here. What'd you think? Did you like it?
It was great. It was great.
It's awesome.
It's so all right. So I've seen a lot of Mel Brooks movies. Like Blazing Saddles is definitely one of my like all-time favorite movies.
Yes.
And something about the acting in Spaceballs kind of felt over the top. I think Rick Moranis was like what held the movie together as Big Helmet.
Yeah.
Dark Helmet.
Yeah.
And
I think especially like with that one, that they did go over the top because it was like
it
was a true parody.
It's like what they definitely want for it, and they're making a second one. They got Rick Moranis.
Yeah,
they finally got him. So
yeah, no, this one is fantastic as well. But like, so that's my thing is like, you think of Frankenstein in a certain way, and I don't know if people fully know the story. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't even know the story fully, but I do know that there's a lot of things that I didn't know that I knew through that game that I played. That was supposed to be like a literal it was like a point and click sort of thing.
Yeah, like a Telltale game.
Well, it wasn't even that. It was very very rough. To an extent.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it was very much like, remember like the old school point and click games.
Yeah.
It was like that, but imagine it being like painted. So it was all like a very artistry and art. Like,
oh, was it all stills with voices over it?
I don't even know if there was voices, to be honest with you. Like this was one of those. Remember back when Twitch did Amazon Prime games?
Yeah,
I got on that. It was one of those.
They still do that.
Oh yeah, but now you have to go through all the different apps and everything. But so Victor Frankenstein and then Heinrich Harlander now get this whole thing set up. They start harvesting bodies from the Crimean War, and then you get this really cool scene of him assembling the body, which was cool because. I don't know about you. My brain, every time I've thought of him assembling the body, is literally just like cut arm off, attach arm, sew arm.
No, he just he literally took all the perfect parts.
Yeah,
and, put it together.
And that's things like when we're saying that, I want to make sure you guys know when we're talking perfect parts, we mean like there's a part where he takes like a dude's femur from one body and puts it into another leg because like the leg is good on one person, but the femur is good on that one, and like you see him fitting it in there and stretching the muscle to and I was like, this is insane. I really liked it, but it was
don't pick the bodies from the top or the bottom. They'll have frostbite. Get the ones in the middle.
Yeah, it was so that whole scene was so well done. So he finally gets everything ready and he goes to find Harlander to be like, hey bro, we gotta go now. It's time. And that's when he finds out that Harlander is dying of syphilis.
He's like a night of fun, a life of suffering.
Yeah, I kind of giggled at that point. So I was like,
that was good.
Course. So Victor's like, no, we're not gonna help. No, I'm not gonna turn you into I'm not gonna put your brain in the monster. You're already you're dead. You're done for. Like that sort of thing.
You're like, I can't. He's like, I'm not. You're not the perfect part.
Yeah, exactly. He goes up. He starts getting everything ready, and then. And the Harlander's like, you will do it, or else I'm gonna throw this down the well, and breaks a bunch of shit and messes up the machine. But somehow the machine still works, obviously, right? Because why wouldn't it? And a really funny scene, in my opinion, Victor thinks that everything is ruined and he's failed, so he goes and lays down, and he wakes up. When he wakes up, the creature's just like,
"Hi, Dad, I threw up."
So then you get this thing of him trying to teach him to speak, lock him in the basement. He doesn't know any of the words other than Victor. And eventually then he blows up the whole thing because...
So I heard that I saw a thing today where Jacob Elordi, Hot Man, I've seen a couple memes, so he's a big boy. He's like 6'5", and then next to him, I want to say Oscar Isaac's got to be 5'8", 5'9".
I'm assuming. I would say this. Yeah. I've been surprised with the heights of celebrities.
Yeah.
Oscar Isaac is 5'9". Correct.
Yeah. So looking next to each other, even at the premieres and stuff, I'm like, yeah, he's got to be 5'8", 5'9". So he's 5'9". Yeah. And so I saw a meme where it was
I'm looking at it right now. Jesus.
Yeah, so I saw a meme where it was it had 5'11" over Oscar Isaac and then 6 foot over Jacob Elordi.
Oh yeah,
that's
funny.
And then, but I saw an interview with him, and he was like, "How long did it take to get the makeup on?" And he's like, when he's dressed up in clothes like he is in the picture you chose, that took 6 hours, and then when it's the full body, that would take 11 hours.
Well, it makes me think of especially now because it's been a little bit more prevalent. Jim Carrey going through Navy torture training. I think it was the Navy's, but he went through torture training when he went and did The Grinch. because of how
really?
because of how long it took for him to get into the prosthetics and everything. So he went and took torture training because of how long it took for them to put everything on, and him have to stay in it for so long. So he went like I forgot what it was exactly, but it's because the Cindy Lou Who, she's now grown up and hot and is releasing a Christmas song.
Well, she's like in a hardcore band.
Yeah. Yeah. So she was talking about it and like how he she was like I forgot what it was, but like he went through torture training, basically to get him ready for the amount of makeup and shit they had.
That makes sense. Like, right? You like it's just so he's like, how was that? He's like, when you're doing movies, you don't have a lot of time. It's like usually you show up and then they're like, all right, you're ready for your scene. You got to do it now. We got nothing else. And you have like 2 tries.
Yeah.
And he's like, when I was sitting there for 11 hours, I could really just get in the zone and get ready to do it. So when we did do it, I was always ready. And I was like, all right. There's a guy who went full method on that.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like Jesus. So at the end of Victor's tale, then it goes back to modern day, or where we are in the modern day story. And the creature finally makes his way basically like into the ship, like into the backwaters. And Victor's like, no, don't kill him. Like, he's okay. Like that sort of thing. And the creature's like, oh, he's telling his story? Now you're going to hear my story. And when he did that, I was like, what? Wait, what? And then it came when black screen did part 2 of the creature's tale. And it was kind of like you said, I think that's the scene where people will be like, this is the lean forward, lock in moment. Mm-hmm. Because it's just something that we just don't know.
So he's a real up-and-coming actor. He was in Euphoria, and he was like, a lot of people loved him in Euphoria, and then he was in Saltburn most recently.
Yep.
And I'm like, he's like a big up-and-coming actor. Like, I'm like, all the stuff with him early on, I'm like, I don't know. It just feels like they could have picked anyone to be in this suit, and then once it got to that, I was like, oh.
Yeah. Once he starts,
he's killing it.
Once he starts to do.
Oscar Isaac did a great job too. I'm not.
Yeah, no, it was always one of those things, and like we've talked about it before, where like there's always that like for instance, and I'm gonna go back to it just because I brought it up earlier and it's on my mind right now. Rebel Moon, our boy there,
Hunnam?
No, not Hunnam. The general at the war pits. We never can pronounce his name right. He was the French underwear model.
Yes,
yeah.
French underwear. Yes,
we can never pronounce his name right.
No, and I don't want to be offensive.
Yeah, like he kills it. I'm gonna look it up real quick just so we have it, so we can like.
Yes, please.
But like anytime that he showed up on scene, he killed it. Jimon Honsu.
It's very French. Very French.
I wonder how. There we go. Hold up a sec. Pronunciation. Hold up a sec. I'm just gonna literally just play this thing and then like.
Jaimin Hansu.
Jaimin Hansu.
Okay, Jaimin Hansu. All right.
Yeah. So like, anytime he shows up, and I'll say this for almost any movie he's in, game over. Like he's just stolen the movie to an extent because he's
even like he said such a small part in Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's such a good part.
Yes.
And then even like Never Back Down, which is a bad movie, but I love it.
Yeah.
He's pivotal to that movie.
Yeah. If you put anyone else in that role, I don't think that movie is as successful as it was.
No.
And it's not even that.
Because even like you look at the 3 big actors, we're just jumping into Never Back Down.
Yeah.
You have the main kid who's like awful, and then you have him, and then you have the kid who's in Tron Ares. I always forget his name. He's in all the horror stuff now.
So you have Sean Ferris, who is the good kid. That's Jake. You have Cam Gigant.
He was on like.
Yeah, he's the bad guy. You have young Amber Heard before she starts being a psycho, which at this point it's like, holy hell, she's hot. Evan Peters is in it.
Evan Peters, that's who I was trying to remember his name. So like, you really get carried by Hansu the whole time.
Yeah,
he like carries the movie.
So Jacob Elordi though, this goes to show you, in my opinion, what you were saying. I thought he was fantastic in the role. When before this, you only hear him kind of like at the very beginning of the prologue, just being big, intimidating, like that character. You hear him just saying some things. At the very beginning, he's very kind of frail and like he's playing the creature, but it's And at this point, I'm sitting there, it's like you said, it's like okay, like. They could have put anyone in this suit,
Yeah.
As soon as it is the creature sales part, it's like, okay, never mind, I understand now. And then it goes to this though. Did you know 2026 movie. The lead, along with Margot Robbie. Wuthering Heights.
I know the name, don't know anything about it.
I know the name as well, but it's one of those things where, like, I know Wuthering Heights is, like, it's a novel.
Okay.
So, and I know that's, like, one of those, like, almost like, I do believe, if I'm probably wrong here.
I do believe.
Great Gatsby, Of Mice and Men. What's the other high school
Grapes
books?
of Wrath.
Yep, the other, like that. I think Wuthering Heights is in that category of, like, here's the high school material reading.
Classic American novels.
Yes. No, my luck, we're going to click on this.
Novel.
It's in English. Is the only novel by English author Emily Bronte.
Yeah, there you go. English.
Yeah.
So it is funny because Jacob Elordi, when you look at him and when you hear him talk, he is like picturesque, like British nobleman in like old times. So like he's kind of like perfect for that part.
Well, no, so he's an Aussie.
Oh, is he?
He's an Aussie.
I thought he was British.
I'm not gonna. Apparently he's an Aussie.
All right.
Yeah. So, but still, so then it gets to the creature's tale, and this is where it kind of gets to be a thing where we don't really know a whole lot about this part, or like I said, the only reason why I know about it is because of that game. If it wasn't for that game, I had no clue. And I will say this: there's a part in the game where he goes to like a city, and they're like throwing like a party, and he like walks through the party, and he's just like, And I was like, I was waiting. I was like, is Del Toro gonna do this part as well? Because if he does, that's kind of cool.
He does go to a party, but he doesn't walk through it.
So at this point, he freed himself before the explosion, so he didn't blow up in the explosion of the castle. He's wandering around in the woods.
Victor Frankenstein lost his leg.
Yeah. He's wandering around in the woods, and he's feeding berries to a deer, which I thought was adorable. And then he gets shot by hunters.
Oh, so it shot the deer, and I was like, oh my god! And then they're like, kill that thing! And I'm like, sure, he looks weird, but he's very clearly a person. Yeah, and I'm just laughing at that. They're just like, kill it!
Like, you can tell it's a human, but you can't tell that, like, it's like a person, like a man, like that sort of thing. So he flees from the hunters, takes shelter in this like random farm that he finds, only to find out that it's the farm of the hunters. And there's an old man in there as well, an old blind man, and I love how that's how, like, old blind man is what it is. And he's teaching his granddaughter how to read. So
I really like that part when he's like showing stuff to her and then going back to showing to him, saying what it is.
It was cool because like he's hiding in the barn, and the old blind man, you kind of can tell like he knows that he's there to an extent, which always is one of those fantastic, like, oh, they're blind, but they're like,
he knows.
Yeah.
The spirit.
Yeah, the spirit of the forest. So he starts like, so like DeNutte said, he's showing his daughter, the granddaughter, how to read, and he's flipping the cards around, and the creature in the shed is like secretly learning how to do it, and he feels a connection with his family. So like the family's like, oh, well, we need to do all this stuff, but there's not enough daylight, like that sort of thing. So the creature's helping them. The creature's just helping them do like all the things around the farm that needs to get done. And while he's doing that, then they're giving him food because it's the spirit of the forest. We gotta appease the spirits in the forest.
And he's there for a long time. They don't really say it, but his hair grows to be shoulder length hair. So he's there for that.
I think he's there for like a full, like almost like a year or so.
So yeah. So again, it takes place 2 years, right? So it's got to be like pretty close after he gets made, and then he's there for a while, long enough for his hair to grow that long.
Yeah, because because it does go into winter, so at least like we can at least say it's at least a couple.
So
months.
he gets there in the winter-ish, kind of, right?
I think so, but I'm not sure on that one.
I don't think so, actually.
Either way, he's there for a couple months because it does like there's a full cycle that happens where like they're going through different things and like the farming of it, and like they're talking about the different, well, this is happening, so we need to get the crops ready, or like we need to do this to get this ready, and we need to get the pen ready. So the rest of the family leaves, and when they leave, then the creature goes in and starts talking to the blind man. And the family is left for the winter to go, like, I think it's to go get supplies, if I recall correctly. I think they're going to go get supplies. So, the creature befriends the blind man. They start talking. He's teaching him how to read. He's like fully reading books at this point now. Like this dude's more illiterate than I am. Like, not illiterate, but literate than I am.
Yeah, there's a couple words he threw out, and I was like, I don't know what that means.
Exactly. It's like he's like, wow, I feel what I'm talking about. So like he at one point he's like, I kind of want to find out where I come from, like who I am, and like the old blind man's kind of like, go, go figure this shit out. So he goes back to the tower, finds it all broken, and that's when he finds the manifestos and the pictures and like the original like photographs on the glass pane, and figures out exactly who he is or what. He
finds the letter from the medical college saying he's bad.
Yeah.
He's like Victor Frankenstein.
So then he returns to the farm. When he returns to the farm, there's wolves howling, and it's like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
He runs in, and the wolves are attacking the blind man, and then you get this wild fight scene between a pack of wolves and him, which, by the way, wholly violent. Like
violent, even like when they was like the wolves showed up the first time and were attacking the sheep. It was like dark.
And I like how, at that point as well, when the wolves show up and attack the sheep, he's like, that day I learned that, like, not, like, they're not killing for the sake of killing. Like, there's, like, they don't want to do this, but they have to.
It's the nature of everyone.
Yeah. And it was kind of one of those things, it's like, oh shit, he's learning. So, at this point, then
he fights the farmers.
Yeah, the farmers show back up, and the blind man's dead.
Like, you did this.
The wolves are all dead. You did this. So he kills kills one of the farmers. And
he rips his jaw off.
Then he realizes he doesn't want to be alone. He doesn't want to spend life alone. He
can't die. He can't be happy. He needs a companion.
Yeah. So now this is when he goes to find Victor, and this is on the day of the wedding. Of course it is, right? Why wouldn't it be?
Of course, yeah.
It's the wedding of William and Elizabeth. They're finally getting married, and he shows up and he's like, "Make me companion." Like, you know, I love how I'm saying it like that, but really, he's like, "Make me a companion. I want a companion." Not just
you owe me that much.
Yeah. And Victor refuses, just being like, "No, get the hell out of here. I'm not making another one of you. I regret making you," like that sort of thing. So the creature attacks Victor, and Elizabeth is there, and Elizabeth shows up. He's attacking Victor, and someone goes to shoot the creature, and Elizabeth gets in the way.
So this is going to sound bad. I'm not that familiar with Mia Goth. I know she's like the horror queen right now.
Yes, that's what she's been labeled as. I know.
This one is the one that felt phoned in, her performance. It just felt like she was in it. And I don't know. I don't think that's really on her. Like, she didn't have very many lines.
Yeah, no, it was. So I'm looking right now.
Or very many scenes either. So she wasn't really in it that very much.
It's funny because I'm looking right here, bro, and because it's one of those things. I've heard the exact same thing with her being like she's the new horror queen, and I'm looking at the movies right now. She's been doing movies since 2013. So The Survivalist, Everest, A Cure for Wellness, Marrowbone, Suspiria.
Nymphomaniac.
So Nymphomaniac was the first one. Suspiria, High Life, The Staging Girl, Emma, Mayday, X,
Pearl, and the
Infinity Pool, Maxine.
X, Pearl, and Maxine were, I don't know if you know about those.
No.
That was 3 movies that pair together. They're by the same director, and it's like she plays the main character in all 3, and they are all kind of like.
I'm seeing it right now. Yeah, so it's X, Pearl, and Maxine. So she plays Maxine Minx, Pearl Douglas, Maxine Minx. Well, in this one, did you know, because I didn't know this until after I looked this up, she plays not only Elizabeth Harlander, but she's also Claire Frankenstein. She's the mom at the very beginning of the movie.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Didn't know that either. Yeah. I will agree. Out of all of the actors, this was the one that felt the least it's lower on the rung of performances. I don't know if it was phoned in. I don't know if it was the character that they were going for.
So they gave her one scene that felt like it could have been more when he met her and they were at dinner, and then Harlander and the nephew left, and they was like, all right, let them have their conversation.
Yes.
Like that felt like the one scene where like she could have had like a real monologue, and she just was like, I hate this, and then that was it. Yeah. It was like,
and every scene with her felt like it felt like she was almost playing two characters at once to an extent. It felt like and I know I just said that she played two, not what I'm getting at. Like she's like this parts of her scene where she's emo and she's kind of just there and but she's like vibrantly dressed, and then there's other parts of it where she's like fully explaining like the beauty of a beetle and like fully going into it. But then the next thing is she's just like
melancholy, as they might call it back in the day.
There we go. So the creature carries off dying Elizabeth because haha, she's mine now.
Well, no, she said take me.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, take me. So
yeah, take me.
He walks off with her. She dies in a cave, and the creature vows from that point forward that he is now the master. Victor is no longer the master. I am the master. I am the creator. And he injures him and disfigures him and walks off. And it's just kind of like Victor at this point now is full, just like, I'm going to go kill the monster. Like, this is my life now.
I saw this funny behind the scenes clip. You know how he shows up with the sled dogs? He shows up to the store with the guns. He's like, ammo.
Yeah.
Milk. You know what is a funny? I don't know if this was a creative choice. He was drinking milk the entire movie. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yes, I did notice that. Now that you say that.
And I don't know what the purpose of that was. I don't know if that's something that was like in the lore of Victor Frankenstein. But like he was even the scene where like if they're at the table, like he pulls his cup out to the assistant, and then like they fill it with milk, and he's just drinking. Even like when like he meets Harlander, he's drinking milk. I don't know what. Is that just like a metaphor for he never grew up? He's still just a little baby boy.
Well, the funniest thing is this: is that like, so I like, of course, why not add it to the list of other shit that I've looked up? There's a full article. Why does Oscar Isaac drink so much milk in Frankenstein? We asked Del Toro's collaborators. So let me scroll here real quick. To get to the bottom of the frothy mystery, they asked the creative team.
Nice.
He's still a child, and he's still innocent because he's drinking milk.
All right, hey, look, I nailed it right in the head. Got it right there.
A normal guy would drink red wine or whatever. And then someone who handled the costume design said he's a man-child. He's an angry child that's sort of grown up. The milk is a wonderful, delicious, little ongoing personal ritual. It links him directly back to his mother. I love that selfish, childlike aspect of Victor. She adds that if you look closely, you'll notice bottles of milk piling up in the alley outside of Victor Frankenstein's apartment early in the movie, in the scene where he meets Henrik Harlander. It's a constant thing. And then this one says he was mother obsessed. She says he was always a kid who never grew up until he became a father of the creature. So drinking milk is this kind of symbol of adolescence, of being connected to your childhood. And then DeVell also notes that the milk may represent more than just Victor's immaturity. Another way to read it is as an example of his obsessive determination to conquer death through science. It says he doesn't drink. Devereaux says he's focused. He's a scientist, a doctor. Yes, you hit it right on the head, dude. So he asks for that, and then we get to present day, and this is when Victor basically apologizes to the creature, and then can you say my name like you did the first time? And then he says it, and I'm like, that's not how he said it the first time. In my apartment,
I forgive you.
By myself, I'm like, that's not how he said it the first time. And then he's like, I forgive you, and the creature walks off into the distance.
Well, actually, I really liked when like he got up and like pretty much was like, can I leave? And the captain's like, let's go. And then they all wanted to kill him, and he's like, no. Yeah. We let him go.
Yeah,
because he sat there and like, he was a silent listener to both stories. So he's like, it kind of puts he's
us
not
as the
we're the captain.
Yeah, we're the captain
now.
We're the captain now. It kind of puts us in that mindset throughout the whole movie. Now that you say that, because like it's literally two characters telling the story to this one character, but we're being told that story instead. Like, so yeah. And then he just walks off, and he like takes his hood off.
He pushes the ship out of the water.
Love it. I love it. So that's the story there. The cast, like we've been going over bits and pieces, phenomenal.
So we going back to the guy from Never Back Down. I already forgot his name. He is like our version of this movie is Christoph Waltz, because anytime he shows up in anything, like he's just gonna kill it.
Yes, when he shows up, and it's funny because like you see him in a lot of his roles, and you kind of expect that from him in this role, and then you're getting a very subdued version of it, to my extent. So for me, like there's like because my immediate thought was is it Inglourious Bastards? He's in that, right?
He's a Nazi. He's the main Nazi.
Yes, that was what I was thinking when he first showed up. I was like, we're gonna get something like that, and it was a very subdued version of. But the chops on him and the way that he was able to portray stuff, I thought was very good. Like at one point, he's like, "I'm gonna take a piss," and like Oscar Isaac goes to leave, and he's like, "No, you can stay here." And he takes the piss while talking to him, and he's like, "I'm going to stop working, like giving you money, unless you get this shit going." Da 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 da. And then he walks out, and as he walks out, he's like, "Oh, by the way, go flush that for me."
Yeah,
I was like, "What the?"
He's like, "I'm the man."
Oscar Isaac was Oscar Isaac in this. I don't want to say that as like a negative. I'm saying that as
and I actually think last couple of years he hasn't, like since Star Wars, I really think he hasn't gotten like much shine, because like he was real up and coming. Like I mean, you even go back to Ex Machina, like that movie's awesome.
Yes.
And then like he was actually in a really good, go back to a Ben Affleck movie. He was in Triple Frontier with a great cast. Garrett Hedlund from Tron, Oscar Isaac, Ben Affleck. I want to say Charlie Hunnam's in it, but I could be wrong about that. I don't think.
Well, that's the thing. Like he did. Oh, actually, I completely blanked on that. He's John, the King of England in Robin Hood, the Russell Crowe Robin Hood that I really like.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that's right.
He's in Sucker Punch. Didn't know that one. Which I will say that's as much in most people.
I did not see that one.
Well, most people here that know us and have seen this enough know I like Zack Snyder. The Zack Snyder movie I haven't actually seen is Sucker Punch. I don't really want to see it though. It looks really cool. But yeah, no. But going to what you're saying, he's in 10 years.
Oh no, I have seen that movie. I take it back.
It's a good movie.
It's a metaphor for trauma.
Okay.
That's the whole. So it's they have like a burlesque show.
Yes.
And it's like hookers. They have a burlesque show. It's like they run a whorehouse, and like it goes into these huge fight scenes, right? And it's these mecha things. It's like almost futuristic. And basically, it's like, she's disassociating, doing sex acts, and while she's doing it, she's in a fight for her life. And so it's like this disassociation that they all have, and so it's good. It's just it's very Zack Snyder.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking at his like his thing here, and it kind of it hurts to an extent because you see it and you can kind of see where things started to go. I'm gonna say wrong. Unfortunately, right? Poe Dameron, Star Wars, kind of probably where things started going wrong, because we got Star Wars, then we got Apocalypse for X-Men, and then like everything from then on is just kind of like not okay.
Dune,
okay.
He's a very small part in Dune.
Star Wars again, 2017. Annihilation. I don't think he has a big role in Annihilation though. I will say that. Right
Annihilation is so good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Michael O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099, fantastic as Spider-Man 2099. But in the first one, though, that's only a small part. It's only very small. And then it's like Rise of the Skywalker, and it's like, and then you look at what it's been since then. You can see that it's starting to pick, like, he's starting to get going again. Also, didn't realize that the King of Kings, he did the voice of Jesus Christ. But like Frankenstein in the Hand of Dante is a drama that he's doing. But like I said, I do believe that you're seeing kind of like
Metal Gear Solid. He's going to play Solid Snake. I don't know. Is that animated? Or is that?
Ooh, okay. He also was Moon Knight in 2022. I mean, I don't know why I'm saying it like that. Like, oh, he was this. Like, of course he was.
Moon Knight, I think. So it's funny. Did you watch Moon Knight?
I've seen bits. I've seen enough.
So first episode of Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Is one of the best Marvel episodes made.
Yes. Oh, okay.
and then it kind of falls off from there. But the first episode, Moon Knight, is
chef's kiss,
and so he's very good in Moon Knight. How about I say that? Moon Knight might not be that great, but he's very good in it.
Yeah, so like I think we're seeing a resurgence in Oscar Isaac back to form, and I think this is a fantastic movie for him because his emotions and the way he plays the character, very good. We already went over Jacob Elordi, and how much we both enjoyed his portrayal in this, especially in the later half of the movie where he really gets to shine. And I think that's kind of a cool thing as well, is like they're almost like really there's two main actors, right? You have Isaac and you have Elordi, and each one of them are given, I don't want to say equal time because I don't know if it was equal time. They're both given time to shine though, like full time, like here, go, do your thing. Mia Goth was, unfortunately, we kind of think she phoned it in, but
I think she also, I don't know, she had very little screen time.
Yeah.
Because even like,
which is weird.
Christoph Waltz had a lot more. Even like, I think she had like as much time as like William Frankenstein in the movie, and he was like not very much of it either.
Yeah, no, he wasn't, and I feel like especially with the way they did things. Now that I'm thinking about it, your character of Elizabeth was more important than William's to an extent, and very important too. You know what? Her character is as important to Frankenstein's story as the blind man is to the creature's story.
Mm-hmm. Which, we got way more of the old man.
And the old man as well, and I'm going to find his name here because he is a David Bradley
from Harry Potter. Yep. He's been around forever.
He is a fantastic actor in little side roles like this, and this was another one. We got another Mikkelsen in this one. We got Lars Mikkelsen was in this. He's the captain.
That's right. We looked at that. There was another another one of those. Yeah, that's right. We saw that when we were looking it up.
And then like I'm trying to think the music. It was
all ambient.
Yeah, it's
never. Yeah. So, solid movie. You enjoyed it very much. I liked it.
I liked it, and I think it was more just the fact of like I like the story. I like the fact. My biggest thing was that the story of Frankenstein, I think, is a fantastic story, and they did I think they did a great job with adding little things to Frankenstein's side of it. But the fact that a lot of people don't know the creature side of it, and that there is a whole side of the story, like there's a whole side of the story that is just about the creature and how, like his life after, and I think that is the biggest thing that I liked about this, is that.
I guess my thing, I wasn't blown away by it. And like, I guess maybe I went in with high expectations.
Well, I mean, Oscar Isaac, Elordi, the way it looked in the trailers, the fact that it's Guillermo del Toro, there's a lot of things where it's like the expectations are high at that point.
Yeah.
Now, what I will say is this, is that, like, yes, I'm giving it an 8.25, right? However, though, it's one of those things where it's like, it's not like because I don't remember what I gave, like, Rebel Moon, but I'll be honest, I've watched Rebel Moon a couple times since it's come out. Like, genuinely.
We watched it twice.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we watched both of ours. But, like, even, like, BVS, even, like, the Snyder Cut, like, these are things I've watched multiple times over and over and over again, given a decently high score to. This is one that I probably will not watch multiple times.
I won't watch this again.
Will I watch this again? Probably if I'm talking with someone and they want to see it, and like that sort of thing, or if I'm in the mood for it. It's a very, like, I don't want to say heavy movie for it being. It says 150 minutes, which felt that.
Yeah.
It's a long movie. It's a true, like, it's a story that needs to, like, you need to be ready for. You can't just go into this being like, oh, I'm just gonna sit down and watch this, right? Like DeNutte even said, I'm assuming you guys probably took your break, like, right as, like, the creature's tale, right? Like, that sort of thing. Or, like, around there.
Because it was, like, I looked, and I was like, oh, we still got an hour left. We had to drive a few hours.
Yeah.
On Sunday, so we're like, we'll finish it at, like, we'll have dinner and finish it.
Yeah, like, technically you could do this in 2 parts, and that'd be fine. You wouldn't miss any pacing of it.
Really, you could do it in the 2 parts.
Yeah.
Because once a creature's tale starts, you could take a break there.
Yeah, so it's like, but it is a heavy movie in that aspect of like the actual like watching of it. Like there's some movies that are 2 hours you can just sit down and just it doesn't feel like 2 hours. This movie is going to feel long. This movie is gonna feel heavy. It's going to have a lot of elements to it, and like that's my thing. But I mean, and so far, it's been critically acclaimed.
Yeah, I actually really haven't seen anything for it about it, like either way. I saw like early reviews coming in and that people liked it.
Yeah.
I guess like awards, right? You think it's going to get like, is it award worthy?
So as of right now,
So I'm just looking at his award list, right? Just because I was like, let's look. Guillermo's won 3 Oscars. I'm looking right now. So
no.
He was nominated for Pan's Labyrinth, which that should have got something.
Yes, this will get nominated. I'll say that.
So he got Best Original Screenplay for Pan's Labyrinth, original story. I don't know if this will, because this is not an original screenplay. It's
I wouldn't think so.
So then Shape of Water nominated for Best Picture, Director, and Original Screenplay. It won Best Director, Best Picture.
Okay.
And Nightmare Alley nominated for Best Picture. I actually didn't see that one. And then Best Animated Feature, it won for Pinocchio.
Oh, okay.
I actually didn't know that. So,
well, like, I was funny because like, I'm looking at something here, and like it's the accolades the movie has already gotten. Celebration of Cinema and Television, Actor, Film, Oscar Isaac won. Gotham Awards. But then it says December 1st, 2025, and you already have people winning it. Some of this doesn't make sense. Oh, it says date of ceremony, so they've already announced the winners, but the ceremony is. The Golden Lion Award of the Venice International Film Festival. Guillermo was nominated for it. It won the Fan Heart Award. It was a runner-up in People's Choice Award in the Toronto International Film Festival. Savannah Film Festival, Oscar Isaac won something. Special Achievement in Costume Design Award, Middleburg, it won. Oscar Isaac won Film Audience Award, Frankenstein. Sloan Science and Cinema Prize, Frankenstein. There's 2 pending, and the 2 pending is Outstanding Supporting Performance, Jacob Elordi, and the Score. Those are pending. The Vanguard Tribute from the Gotham Awards, it won, and it's the 3. It's Oscar Isaac, Elordi, and Del Toro. And then Virtuoso Award, Jacob Elordi won that, and that's the Santa Barbara International Film Fest. So it's winning stuff.
So here's a funny goof, which I'm like, oh, that's kind of a goof, I guess.
Okay.
It's so 1857, Victor Frankenstein buys dynamite to blow up the creature. Alfred Nobel did not invent dynamite until 1866.
Okay, that's funny.
That's like a whatever.
Yeah. It's still kind of funny.
So this has been labeled a horror. Would you call it a horror?
No. I will say there was a couple scenes when he's like having his delusions.
Yeah.
So I'm on Wikipedia, at least, it's listed as a gothic science fiction drama. I would more align with that.
A dark fan. So like, all right, I'm looking at the taglines on top of IMDb on like body horror, dark fantasy, Marster horror, psychological drama, psychological horror, steampunk, tragedy, drama, fantasy, horror is the last one. So I would call it a dark fantasy more than anything, for sure. I think that's probably the most fitting.
I would say you could say body horror to an extent, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's like that's at the lower end of the list. But I do believe.
If you look at it like Pan's Labyrinth, that's also like a super dark fantasy, and I wouldn't necessarily call that a horror either.
Yeah, no, it's definitely more. I do like the word gothic, just because now I've seen it 3 different times on this. I do like that as a word, but like I would say more that it's definitely not a horror. Like, Rotten Tomatoes website's consensus reads: finding the humanity in one of cinema's most iconic monsters, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein is a lavish epic that gets its most invigorating volts from Jacob Elordi's outstanding performance. Mm-hmm. I think that hits it on the head.
Yep.
Right there. It's right now it has an 86 on Rotten Tomatoes, and I'm assuming this is a critics. Let me take a look. So critics is 86, Popcorn is 95. IMDb has it as a 7.7, Metacritic has it as a 78, and Google has it as a 91. So yeah, I mean, it's like
it's a solid movie.
It's a very.
I mean, you look at like it's got. I guess the reviews are on par with like The Shape of Water.
Yeah.
And stuff. So
I would say this. It's not here. This all in my part of this. How about that?
All right.
It's not on the same par as top level Guillermo del Toro. However, it is a fantastic addition to his already awesome.
Yes, I'll give you that. Yeah, agree.
Library of works. It's a fantastic addition.
It's not a dud.
No, 100%.
No.
We've like. I would argue this is, and this is like I said, this is me arguing this. I would argue this is one of the best movies we've seen that we've reviewed.
Okay.
Which would be a fantastic thing to look at some point, by the way. Now that I just said that out loud, kind of listing all the movies we've reviewed, I think this would be.
We had this. I mean, this is the most like. This is a film we watched. We don't watch a lot of films.
Yeah, we watch a lot of
there's
movies.
There's always like we watch a lot of movies. We don't watch a lot of like stuff that would be like in contention for an award.
Yeah.
Like, I guess we always go back to it. Like The Last Duel. Like that was definitely something that was like we're pushing for an award, and everyone was like, this movie stunk.
Yeah. Because like I'm looking like just to throw out some. Let me get down here because apparently I have 60 things. Why is that? Oh, because that was NFL review. That's why. That was back when I didn't know how to properly title those.
Gotcha.
So right now, obviously, I can't see that. So like, Rebel Moon, Roadhouse, Fallout, Rebel Moon, Fallout. This is
Fallout
Tires.
is very good.
Well, we did because we did it like halfway through the season, and then we did it again at the end of the season. Rebel Moon, Twilight of the Gods, Secret Level, Sonic the Hedgehog, Talk to Me, Havoc, Tires again, K-pop Demon Hunters, Happy Gilmore, War of the Worlds, The Accountant, Thunderbolts, Velocipaster Tron, Boots, Weapons, Splinter Cell. Now, obviously, there are some of these that all I'm looking at right now.
K-pop's gonna get nominated, for sure.
All I'm looking for just videos that I have that were listed as title and review. So who knows if I labeled something without the review?
No,
I probably didn't.
That tracks. Because like a lot of stuff, we're looking at something that like is new and exciting, but like we're not like. We didn't like do the new Leonardo DiCaprio movie.
Yeah, exactly. I know I have a feeling there's some in here that we've reviewed that I didn't. Cause like I did this like a look back at Doom 2005. You weren't there for that one. But that's still a movie review, right? Like that's so there's some of them where like the title even I wrote like I did it wrong. Or I didn't do it wrong to an extent, but I didn't do it an
you
easy
just didn't
way.
Tag it.
Yeah.
You just didn't,
But still, I would argue this is one of the best movies we've seen. Oh, we've reviewed.
My thing is like this is like the first one of the only
first
films.
Yes.
Yes. This is a film review, and I feel like they've always like had that classification where I'm like, we always watch movies, and like this is like art.
Yes.
This is like
yes.
This is not slop for us to watch.
This is not Velocipaster. This is
no, exactly. Yeah, that wasn't on that list you threw out there. So yeah, it's not slop. Like, this is one of the better things. But this is probably the most serious thing.
Yes,
along with like The Last Duel.
Yes, this is one of the most.
I guess most of the stuff we watch is like kind of comedy.
Yeah, a lot of what we've watched is comedy, and then
we
lighthearted comedy, or just it's like
sci-fi. Like Weapons was really good, but that was also like a horror comedy.
Yes. I really enjoyed it. But last thing, DeNutte, what do you got for us for last thing? Yeah, there we go. Next week is DeNutte's pick.
I'll go with something.
DeNutte picks the review, so we're gonna be doing something. I'm intrigued to see what it is. Go watch Frankenstein.
Yeah, go watch Frankenstein. It's good.
It's
good.
Long. It's good. It's long, but it's worth it for the creature's tale.
Yeah. If you want a good telling of Frankenstein with good acting.
Yes.
But it will be boring for some people.
Yes, there's going to be parts that will be boring. Like, it's just that 100%. But thank you.
It's not bad. It's very good.
Yes.
It's just it's a very
heavy-handed at points.
Yes, and it's a composition. Is that the word? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, so thank you all for stopping by and hanging out today.
We're stupid.
We appreciate it as always. Yeah, we are. And depending on where you are, morning, afternoon, even night, stay out, trouble, stay safe, and we'll talk to y'all later. Victor. Bye.